Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to Andrew's Life. Let's get right to it. So, there's been a whole crap ton of videos on social media that encourages everybody to drop their 9 to 5 for various reasons. Now, on the surface, that sounds great. It sounds wonderful. It sounds uplifting. It sounds exhilarating. But I would like to talk about the downside of spreading that type of message. Now, granted, there are certain people and there are certain cases to where quitting that 9 to 5 may be one's best option, and there are people that are actually that are properly equipped to quit at 9 to 5 and do their own thing because their finances are in order and they got the proper skill set, and they also have good business skills. But here's the danger of telling too many people to quit their 9 to 5. Now, and this is in no particular order. Now, the first reason I'm gonna talk about is, well, obviously, as y'all can see, we do have a migrant crisis going on in this country. Well, if every American worker decides, you know what, if my job, if a 9 to 5, I want to do something that's not 9 to 5. Guess what's going to happen to many of these companies that rely on 9 to 5 workers? You got it. They're going to replace your butt with these migrants. And the more people that move into this country, the more people that move into these cities, the more people that move into these small towns, guess what's going to happen? Your cost of living is going to go up even higher than what it already is. Another uh, another major issue that people ought to think about when telling too many people to quit their 9 to 5 is, well, let's start with your first responders. Like if your house is being broken into, or you're out here being assaulted, who is going to be around to store some level of order in society? If all your law enforcement officials decided to quit their job, who's going to be around to store some kind of order in society? When you need protection, when you're at the most vulnerable, who's going to be there to protect you? You wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you smell smoke, your dog is barking, your cat's meowing, your house is on fire, and who's going to be there to come and put your house out? Who's going to be there to make sure that your family gets out of the house all okay? Who's going to be there to control the fires that happens, to make sure that if one house is on fire, it's not going to turn into the whole block being on fire? When you make that call to whatever first responder that you need, who's going to be on the other end to answer that call? Because remember, you have no law enforcement officials, you have no firefighters, and I should have put this first, but guess what? When you call 911, you have no dispatcher that's going to answer your phone because the dispatcher decided, you know what, F it, I'm done. I'm not doing 9 to 5 any longer. I'm traveling the country. I'm traveling the globe. So, and for those of you that want to quit your 9 to 5, you want to do gig work, okay, that sounds, again, on the surface, that sounds great. But how are you going to do gig work when there's nobody that's working at these fast food restaurants to prepare the order for your DoorDash customers? If everybody quits their 9 to 5, who are you going to be? For those of you that drive Uber, many of your customers are most likely customers who are getting off of work or they're going to work. So if no one's working a 9 to 5, many people are no longer going to have the need for an Uber. So for those of you that do Uber, you're going to lose a crap ton of business because not as many people are going to need your service because not as many people are going to work. So therefore, they're not going to be coming home from work because they're not going to work in the first place. And another thing is, who's gonna who's if everyone decides, you know what, F a 9 to 5, I'm done. Okay, well, when you get hungry and you need to go to your local grocery store to do some shopping, who's gonna be there at the store to stock the shelves? Who's gonna be there at the store to make sure you got fresh fruits and vegetables and meat? Matter of fact, let's back up. If everybody decides to quit their miserable job, how do you think the food even makes it into the store? Truck drivers. If all the truck drivers decided, F it, I'm done, I'm not truck driving no more, this job is miserable, I quit, I want to be free, I want to live in a Toyota Prius and travel to, I don't know, Arizona or some shit, guess what? How do you think the merchandise is going to get to the store to where you can go to the store and buy whatever it is you want or you need? How you think that stuff is going to get there if there's no truck drivers? Think about that for a minute. And a lot of the other services that many of us take for granted, like like when you look at many of the services that are online, when you look at something like the when you look at something like the use of your computer, there's somebody behind all that most likely works a regular 9 to 5 job to keep all those different things going for you. Like, okay, let's say you purchase a house or you choose to rent an apartment. Now you need some internet service. Well, if nobody's working 9 to 5, who's gonna come to your house and give you internet? Who's gonna hook you up with internet? If all the workers, like for an example, uh, let me think here. Let's say you get Spectrum internet. So when you go and you call Spectrum, for one, nobody's going to answer the phone because everybody decided to quit their 9 to 5. So obviously, you're not going to have a technician that's going to come out and hook you up with internet because again, no one's working 9 to 5. So guess what? You will have no internet most likely. When your vehicle breaks down, and now you need to take it to your local mechanic for repairs. If all the mechanics at that place or too many mechanics at that place decide I've had enough, I quit my job, the job is miserable, whatever the case might be, who's going to fix your car? Most people these days do not know how to fix their own cars. These cars nowadays are they're very technical. They're full of computer parts. You do one little thing wrong, your whole car can be gone. So who's going to fix your car when you need repairs done to your car? For those of you that are homeowners, you need stuff done to your house, like your old air conditioner or furnace goes out. Like, fall time is right around the corner. Let's say you wake up one day, it's Christmas, and your house is 52 degrees. And you try to turn on your furnace, but the furnace no longer works. Now you need a technician to come over and try to get some heat in your house so you can enjoy the rest of your holiday. Who are you going to call for that? Because remember, the majority of your technicians are 9 to 5 workers. Your technicians have to stay in the local area to run their business. So if they decide, you know what, I quit, I'm going to travel the country or do whatever, guess what? You will have no technician to come and to fix your furnace to where you have heat. And there's a whole crap ton more of services that many of us take for granted. That if everybody decided to quit their 9 to 5, those services would no longer be available because there would be no one to render those services. And I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to kill no one's dreams here, and yeah, I'm not trying to kill anybody's dreams. I just want some of you to open up your eyes and understand what it is that what's the proper wording here. I just want some of you to understand the importance of having people that are willing to work their 9 to 5 and enjoy working their 9 to 5. And I think I mentioned this when I first started talking here, but just in case I didn't, I'm going to mention it again because it is that important. But as many of you guys realize, we do have a migrant situation going on in the country. If too many Americans decide to quit their 9 to 5, the migrant situation is going to get worse because now companies are going to have an excuse and now they're going to justify more migrants coming into the country, which is going to cause everything to be that much more expensive than what it is today. So, all I got to say is it is good to have a balance of people that don't work in 9 to 5 and people that do work in 9 to 5. So, for those of you that don't work in 9 to 5 and you're running around, you know, beating your chest because you think you somebody big, or you're like, man, I'm glad I don't have to work in 9 to 5. Think of all the people that do work in 9 to 5. And if it wasn't for them to work in 9 to 5, if it wasn't for them to work their quote unquote miserable job, for those of you that don't work a 9 to 5 and you have the ability to travel the country, do your own thing, whatever the case might be, most likely you wouldn't be able to move around and navigate the way you navigate. You wouldn't be near as comfortable as you are right now if it wasn't for those who chose to continue to work their 9 to 5. So the next time you see somebody working a 9 to 5, I know this is going to sound kind of crusade. I know it's going to sound kind of weird, but when you see somebody working a 9 to 5 and they deliver good customer service to you, thank them for working their 9 to 5. Thank them for showing up to their miserable job, as some of you would say. So I think you guys get the gist of what this video is about. So I'm going to end it right here. Everybody stay blessed. I'll catch you guys on the next one.